I can help if you want to.
Thank you. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Coffee Hour. Oh my God, it's so good to see you all. Beautiful, shining. We have many people by the door. We will just admit everyone to come and join us. Wow, we'll be many this morning. Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to see you. Are you feeling ready, Andrea?
I am ready as I'll ever be. Kind of slightly sleepy, but still ready.
I love that. I love that. Hello, everyone. Write to us in the comments. We will be many this lovely day. I can see we already 25 people. It's a beautiful thing. Wow, it's streaming in here. It's open house today, as you know. So welcome to everyone who are here for the first time. And we would love all the first timers to raise a hand or write in the comments, and then we will give them some Magic Writers Tribe love, right? So give them some hearts. Give them some hearts somehow. Let them feel welcome in our beautiful tribe. Yes.
So good to see you.
I'll just open the chat so I can see what you're writing to us. We love to hear from you. Yes.
Katrina's here.
Hi, Katrina.
Hi, Katrina. Finally.
It was untimed.
It's divine timing.
You're here when you're supposed to be here. I believe that. And welcome everyone. So good to see you. There's such a joy in my heart today, Andrea. I'm like, oh. And
you sound so excited.
I am. Andrea and I have been dancing as we used to, and we have a song that we love, and it's not spiritual at all. It's Justin Timberlake. I can feel it in my body.
Can't stop the feeling. Yeah, so we love that. We dance to that whenever we're together. That's the first thing we do. We dance.
Yeah. So next time we will invite you to dance with us. Would you like that? So good to see you.
There's a big thumbs up from Tora.
Lovely. And so lovely that you write to us in the comments. We love to feel the connection. That's why it's on Zoom. We love to connect with you all. And not so long, you will all hear your voices. We will say hello at the same time in not so long, but we will just allow people a little more time to find us. Let's hear what you're drinking out there. Do you have some good coffee, tea, cocoa?
Big hello to Mariana. Mariana, first time here from the Magic Box program.
Fantastic.
From Croatia. Wow.
Wow, fantastic. I love that we are from so many countries. Can you write in the comment which country you're from? That would be fun to hear. Where are you tuning in from? We know we have many Scandinavians here, but I also think we have people from many other countries. In the tribe, we have people from Australia, India, US. It's like spreading, and it's so beautiful. And we are all writing from this soulful place of being moved by a spirit to what we are writing.
Loving all the comments. There's so many interactions today. It's lovely. Everyone's energy must be fully fired up today. Everyone's awake apart from me.
Yeah, it will come, Andrea. Oh, it's so lovely. We even have Nancy. Wow. Nancy comes from Canada, I think. It must be in the middle of the night or something.
Yeah.
Hey, Nancy. Are you with us live today? Amazing. Nancy, are you tuning in from Canada? We'll just unmute and tell us. I think I've never seen you here live before. What is the time in your place? Just unmute and tell us if you feel like it, of course. I'm being a little mean to people, just asking them to talk when you just come in for the first time. A bit, I don't know. You can write in the comments, Nancy, if it feels better. Maybe you are in your pajamas in the middle of the night in Canada.
Grit is a fellow fan of Justin Timberlake. I think she can feel the vibes coming her way. Yes. Yes.
Amazing. Okay. Once more, welcome everyone. We'll just allow people in if they come on the way. And then we will soon get started because we have a wonderful program today in our monthly coffee hour. And we're so happy to see all of you who are coming here for the first time for the open house. Welcome to you all. And also welcome to everyone seeing this in the replay, because we often have, we are over 100 in the tribe, and many also watch the replay later. So welcome to you all. Lots of hearts. We love you. Yeah. So what about we count down, or count up? I'm not so good at counting down. So I count to 3 and you all unmute yourself and we just say hello and wave to each other, right? So we hear each other's voices. Should we do that, Andrea?
Lovely.
Can you count for me?
From 3? 3?
Yeah, up or down, you decide.
Yeah, I'll go from 3. So 3, 2, 1. Unmute, hello!
Hi guys.
Hello.
Morning.
Hello.
Oh, I feel
Wonderful.
the rush of love.
You feel the energy. Oh, it's beautiful. Thank you, everyone. And then you can mute yourself again. And I think we will just start with doing a little prayer that came to me not so long ago, that I called the Writer's Prayer. And I think it kind of captures the spirit of this tribe and what we're here for. So if you feel like it, you can put your hands on your heart and just close your eyes for a minute or whatever feels natural to you, and we will do the Writer's Prayer. And it sounds like this. Take me, God, to where you need to find me. Write me, God, I'm here for you. Sing me, God, pull the strings of my soul. Dance me, God, let me move with you. Thank you for your endless love pouring through. Amen. And so it is. Thank you. Yeah, that's where we write from, right? So this is also a very spiritual way of writing, right? We're servants for the light, right? And for the love to pour through us. And maybe we don't write spiritual books. Maybe we write children's books, or we write fictional novels, but it's still all serving and giving our gifts and giving the love that we are to the world, right? So, yeah. Andrea.
It would be so lovely to hear how that shows up for people. You know, I think everybody's experience must be so different. Maybe in the comments, just share how what that feels like when you're in that place.
That'd be beautiful. Yeah, share in the comments if you resonate and if you feel that energy of kind of allowing yourself to be moved, to bring your gifts and share the love that you are in your unique way, with your unique sound. That would be beautiful. Just put a heart if you resonate, right?
Yeah.
And also, while you are chatting and sharing with each other, maybe Andrea, you could take a little recap on the challenge. Would you like to do that?
I would.
Because we have a monthly challenge here in the tribe that we every month do, right? A little new thing that we challenge you.
Yeah. So we, Eva and I work together in a very magical way. So whenever we start talking, something happens. It's like, you know, it's not like a plan. It's not like a linear plan that we come up with. Whenever we connect, it's like the energy is squared and there's a magic that comes through. And it's such a joyful energy that any kind of program or whatever it is, actually, whatever we're talking about, seems to come through effortlessly. And we've decided that that is our state of bliss. So we even have a blissness together instead of a business, because it feels so skippy, you know, whenever we get together. And I was on one of our long phone calls the other day, which we love to have, we were talking about a ceremony that I just attended, about being in your bliss. And we were gathered on the beach in a stone circle with a fire in the middle and doing yoga on the beach. And one of the exercises we had was to find a stone on the beach and to paint it. And it's really connecting with your inner child, you know, your 7-year-old child. What would they like to do? And we were all finding stones on the beach. And I was telling Eva about this. And so I have this stone that's called Joy. I don't know if you can see that. And it's a natural stone. I didn't paint it, actually. And on the back, it's so intricate, but it's natural. It just came like that. And I added the word joy. So that prompted us to talk about, that would be such a lovely idea to have a reminder for that state of bliss or joy or whatever it is when you go into the writing space or creating space. What is that reminder that we can have close to us on our desk? You know, it doesn't need to be grown up. It can be completely playful. I have a little elephant, my little lucky elephant here. So the challenge came out of that conversation, and the challenge for this month is for you to find your bliss and to create a reminder, some kind of memento that prompts you to go into that space where you create from that magical, childlike often place. So yeah, we'd love you to find something. And if it doesn't need to be a stone, but if you find a stone, you want to paint it, let your inner child do that. Just something that will sit with you. You could write a poem, you could make something, you could bake something, whatever it is that gives you that reminder. And I know in the comments we've seen that people have been making jewelry, making bracelets and creating shrines, and you're so creative, you guys. I know you're going to come up with some magical reminders. So yeah, if you could find your bliss first, connect with your bliss, find something that will remind you of it, and then share. Feel free to share with others in the comments when you've done that. So
beautiful. Oh, I love this. And thank you everyone who has already been sharing what you have been doing. And also, if you feel inspired now, as Andrea is recapping this, write in the comments, what would you like to do? Just to kind of help yourself to actually do it, right? Because we live busy lives, but there's something about anchoring that joyful energy. For me, I like feathers, and I like shells that I collect on the beach, and I like glittery things. And my little inner girl is very, she likes those things.
Very active. There's a piece actually in The Artist's Way that talks about your writing space and how, you know, in our minds, maybe we think that as writers, we need this kind of monastic cell, you know, this kind of very clean space, but actually we don't write often very well in those spaces because they're too boring. So it's actually so much better to have little things, little knickknacks around you that wake up your inner child.
Wow. Oh my God, we have someone saying my plan is to tattoo in joy. Oh my God, Sivanita, that's amazing.
Oh, wow. I admire your bravery.
Wow. I might think about that because I always thought I'm not going to have a tattoo, but maybe bliss.
Bliss. That's a good idea.
Wow. I love that you're sharing with each other and sharing with us. And I just got to share now that I see Grete here, right? In my mailbox yesterday, this is the magic that happened in my life, right? In my mailbox is a gift from Grete from Norway. Grete, I loved it. It's a notebook with the northern lights outside. And she knows that I love and treasure the northern lights and dream of seeing them. And she sent that notebook to me with the most beautiful greeting. Grete, you moved me deeply. Thank you. It will be on my bliss table, I tell you. Thank you.
That's so kind. That's really thoughtful. Lovely gift. Yeah. So Björk is saying the 3-finger technique from the Silver method can really anchor you in that bliss space when you're getting ready to go with the flow. That's a
beautiful. Wow. Thank you so much, everyone. And thank you, Andrea. And now, dear ones, it's time. You know, we have our secret guest that some of you might know or think you know who is. And let me introduce you to Helena Goldstein, our beloved tribe member, who has just last week published her first poetry collection called Love Songs. And it's the most beautiful poetry collection I think I've ever read. I just gotta say it's so beautiful. It touched me deeply. I couldn't put it down. I cried and I laughed and I recognized, and I felt like I was reading the new Mark Nepo. I mean, if you know him, a spiritual poet, it's breathtakingly beautiful. And Helena is a coach and a mentor and a speaker and so much more. But now she's also stepped out of the closet as the most amazing poet. And it's such an honor, Helena, that you would come to us today and share behind the scenes and share about this journey. And also something that has been very special about this is that no one in the tribe has even known that she was writing this. She's been the secret poet. She's kept it secret. So it was like the big bam for everyone that you're a poet. Shall we send some hearts to Helena and welcome her?
Thank you so much. It is my honor all the way. Thank you so much.
Oh, wow. My goodness. Congratulations.
Andrea, you also read the poems of Helena, didn't you?
Oh my goodness. Helena sent me a copy of her book and I didn't know it was coming. So it was a beautiful surprise. And I really needed to read some of those poems that day because I sat and read the whole book from start to finish and then phoned Eva and I was just like, oh my God. I feel like I'm in the presence of a master. Helena has really walked this path. I've had a few sort of love experiences or love journeys this past year. So to read this poetry was so affirming. It was so affirming. It's like, here is somebody who really deeply understands this journey. I was in awe. Beautiful, beautiful poetry. You have such a gift. So congratulations, Helena. This is, oh my goodness, what a week. How is your birthday week been?
Well, thank you with all my heart, first and foremost, and thank you for your support. And it's been a week of gratitude. I am so grateful for all the support and all the feedback I get and the support. I'm just deeply touched. Grateful touched.
Oh, well deserved. Very well deserved. Yeah. So would you like to read some of your poems for us, maybe?
Yeah.
Can we ask you to do that?
Sure.
We'd love to hear a bit about the stories behind, if you choose your favorite poem maybe, and just tell us a little about how it came into being. That would be magical. We'd love to
hear. I don't have favorites here, but I chose, I could start with one, where there is a story behind. It is called Words. Let me not stop there. Let me go further. Let me go to that meeting place where everything falls silent into place, where I fall in love with everything, where I lose myself for good, where joy lives, where I find myself.
You're beautiful, Helena.
I feel my heart just opens whenever I experience your work, your writing. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
How did this come to you, Helena?
Yeah, so this one came shortly after a silent retreat I did here at home. I remember there's been like a period where I was like, all I want is to be in silence. So I did like a silent retreat just for myself for a few days. And I don't remember if I wrote the poem before or after, but it was one of these experiences that I've had a few times in my life, which are kind of a sweet paradox that on one hand words mean a lot to me and always have, and on the other hand there's no better space than silence. I've had experiences, and during that retreat, like everything opens, because I first there's just the silence, the not speaking, the not even writing, and then there's this noise that's even underneath thoughts, and then you go beyond that, and then it's like and then what thoughts come. But also experiences I've had in my life in meeting with people in silence, which I find so beautiful, where there are no words to separate us, but we're just together in that silence. So there is always, as much as I love words, there's always also this, let's go beyond that.
But that's also, I think that's so beautifully said, Helena. And that's exactly what you're doing in the poetry, because you create, it's like the poem is a door that opens into the silence. For me, when I read your poems, it's like you bring me into that space. Wow.
Wonderful.
Such a gift.
One more.
Okay.
Not enough. Just keep going all day.
One more. You have a life, right?
We want to dive deep here. We want more. Yeah.
My pleasure. Thank you. So the next one is called Living. This apartment where I have lived for 10 years feels just like the hotel I visited last month. It's nice to be here. I appreciate the way it is arranged. The hotel I will visit next month will feel like home as much as this apartment, familiar and unfamiliar. This place is as good a place to die as any other, or to be born for that matter. It never ends. It never begins. It just feels that way.
I got shivers all over my body.
Me too. Yeah. Wow. So it's so simple, yet so deep, right? Can you all feel it? Put some hearts in the comments if you can feel the power of this. And what's the story again, Helena?
Yeah, so this poem is almost a report because there are these moments. We speak often about awakening in this tribe, right? Or these tribes, because we are several tribes here today. And awakening sometimes comes as this big blissful, where we are taken to a different space. But there's also another awakening which may happen more often, and for me it happens more and more often, which is really an awakening to the dream. So I find myself in this reality, in this room, actually, where I sit right now, and there's this vivid experience of this is a dream. This is a dream in consciousness. It is not intellectual in any way. It is as real as when we dream a nightly dream. It's just that this is a dream. And in that space, in that consciousness, there is no past, there is no future, and there's no attachment. And so in that space, you look at this, like literally, I was in this room and I was looking around and it was like, yeah, it's nicely arranged. And there wasn't like, yes, I arranged it, I put these things into, it's like, oh, this is nicely arranged. So it wasn't like, oh, this is my home. It's just a nicely arranged space. This is where I am right now. And there was this consciousness. It could be anywhere. It could be any dream. It could be anything. And in that space, which is very present, then it opens to this experience that is beyond death, beyond beginning, beyond ending. And then the other awareness that we live in that eternal space and in that dream, but we dream very, very real to us. It feels so real. It feels like such a convincing reality. And of course, I fall asleep all the time again, like, and then awake asleep. We all do, right? But these moments, it's like, And this is also when the experience of oneness happens, when if there are other people around you, it's like,
beautiful.
It's like becoming the observer. It's just so beautiful. It's so deep, so profound. It's like you open up a whole universe behind this one. You know, it's just you, like you take all the walls away, and then there are just stars. That's what it feels like. It's so beautiful. So many people in the comments are saying you have such a beautiful, soft voice, and maybe you should record some of your poems so that other people can benefit from them.
Thank you. I'm considering it. Thank you.
Yeah, that'd be beautiful. Wow, I feel almost like I've been carried to a heavenly place right now just by listening to you. Don't do this to me.
But I'm not doing it. You're doing it.
We're having a live hangout.
May I remind you, I'm not doing it. You're doing it.
Oh, so Helena, if you should try to put in words even more, what is poetry to you? Because we have many here writing poems or wanting to write poems. How do you experience poems? Or what are they? What is it to you?
Yeah, so it has something to do with this relationship to reality, and I've been pondering a little. And there's a beautiful saying by Lao Tzu that many of us know: those who speak don't know, those who know don't speak. And we are, but we want to speak. We don't want to, but we want to. But we know, but we don't know. And poetry to me is that third way. It's that possibility to be between the knowing and the speaking, to not speak the logical language of the mind or even the logical language of the stories, but to be in that space and try to express that which we cannot express, and to communicate, to share it with each other. And that's, I think also when we read poetry, there's this experience of understanding beyond thinking, beyond mind, beyond logic. So it's that third possibility for me, and there's a beauty in writing poetry and in reading poetry that speaks deeply to us, right?
Yeah. Wow, what an answer. Yeah. And you said something to me earlier today, Helena, about the experience of the connection that happens. Could you say a little about that? Because I think that was something I never heard someone say like that, and I loved that.
Yeah, so that's a new experience for me, because until now I've known myself as a secret poet and a reader, of course. But now, since a few people have read the book and I get some response, there is this experience of connection that happens. So it happens for the reader, but it also happens for the writer. That even as that we have shared experiences. So there's a connection that's happening. There's a communion that's happening through poetry. And what a gift that is that, some people write and read, and for those here it's both, and but we're really saying things for each other while we are on a journey together on parallel tracks, meeting each other. We say things for each other. So there's this experience of connection, of communion in that.
Wow, it's beautiful. I think everyone who has shared their heart on paper, like Helena has done here, you have had some of these experiences, right? That when you share from that place, that soulful place, you connect to your reader's soul in a very special way. So that's what we call magical writing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's like Doyle says in the comment, it's a mutual recognition, right? And like, as you've been saying, Eva, if you've had this thing with three things that matter, recognition is so important. Yes.
Yeah, and you cover them all, because I say, if you just know these two keys, that it's all about recognition in the reader's soul and the experience of wonder. The soul longs for experiencing wonder, but that's what you experience when you read your poems. And if we can create that experience in the reader, they will love you forever, and they'll never stop reading everything you share.
So true. So true. When I think about the books that have inspired me along the way, that's exactly what they do. Yeah, they land in your heart.
This is beautiful.
I've become completely distracted from the questions. I'm just absorbed in the moment. Sorry.
Me too. I think we have a last question for Helena, right?
Question.
Maybe you can take that, Andrea.
The hero's journey. Yeah. So yeah, it's always a hero's journey for anyone to write a book. What's been your challenge? We know about the joys, but what about the challenges? Because we all experience them.
Yes. So how far do you want me to go back?
As far back as you like.
Okay, I would just mention, because that the question reminded me of something that I don't think about often. So I come from Poland originally. Polish is my original language, and I suddenly remembered that I've been writing vigorously all my youth in Polish, and had my first collection of poems when I was 16. And then we left Poland and came to Denmark, and I lost my language. So that was a challenge, a huge challenge, which in a way continues, because I, in a way, don't have a native language. But I think that it's the same thing like with writing anything, in a way, that it pushes us to write, even if there isn't a language for it, right?
Yes.
The more immediate the challenge was with this book. I wrote these poems because they came, but to have it just even edited, to sit with my wonderful poetry mentor, whose name is Franny. Some of you know her, Franny Bryan Scott, and to let her even see those poems was hugely challenging, and then to read them for her, it was hugely challenging. So there were like steps on the way to come out, to make the decision for the book to come out. It's like, taking more of your clothes off, and more and more and more, and then stay naked and
vulnerable.
Yeah, and I'm sure there are new challenges coming. Just receiving response is challenging, because how shall I say it? It's important, I find, for me to stay in the poetry and to receive the feedback, but not to get attached to it.
Yes, positive or negative.
Exactly, yes. Exactly. To honor it, but to say, I'm here to write and to read. I'm not to, that's again, I think, something for all of us. And then the next challenge to share, to honor the work and to share it in the world. To keep on sharing it, to keep on. I'm not going to say the word marketing, but I just said it. But to keep sharing it, to keep giving it channels to reach more people. So very different challenges, but a variety of them.
Wow, and I think that'll speak to so many people. So many that vulnerability about sharing your work, particularly with someone you really admire, and all the old fears come up, and you just go past them, and the shy little child sort of peeks around the door a little more. But I think you found your language, Helena. I think your language is the universal language of love.
Oh,
that's
that we all speak. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
You speak that fluidly, fluently. Yeah,
I'm learning.
But thank you for sharing about the challenge. I think that this is something we talk about all the time in this tribe, right? The vulnerability of shining our lights and sharing our hearts. And it's like the most courageous thing we could ever do. It's like we are we are pioneers, we are love pioneers, you know, doing this. And I honor you for doing this, Helena, and I honor everyone here in this call for doing that. And some of you are in the just little sneak peek of putting your toe into it. And you can find inspiration by listening to someone like Helena, right? And some of you know all about it, right? And have done that journey. But it's still, we are still called to share more and sometimes go deeper as well. So, wow, beautiful that we have each other and we can hold hands in that process as well, right? So I also wanted to say, Helena, do you have a link for us that you can paste into the comments, because people are asking for the link? We will also put, please put it in the comments so people can go and get that pearl. There's like 40 of these amazing poems, and everyone is different, and everyone carries you into a new space. And it's, you heard us, right? We are in love with this thing. Just get it, right? Don't hesitate, just go get it. And please, also, we're a family, right? So let's help Helena spread the word about this amazing pearl, because, you know, share it with your friends, share it as a gift, share it on your social media if you feel like it. Really be along and help this baby, this soul child, into the world. It's birthday week, and we can all support Helena by doing that. And maybe next time it's your book, right? So we're here for each other, and we cheer on each other, and we celebrate each other. And there's no competition in this realm of love, right? None.
None at all.
Thank you so much.
There was one more question, actually, just before we end.
Hi.
Can you remember the first poem that really landed in your heart? Was there a particular poem?
Well, yes, and it's difficult to relate to because it was in Poland, so it was a Polish poem. But then when I think about it, the next thing that comes to mind is actually songs, Beatles. But also other songs from the period. And I think we all have this, you know, that we think of them as songs, but there are really poems with music, and some of them can carry such deep messages with them that they stay with us maybe for a lifetime even. So that's what it has been for me.
Any particular Beatles song?
I wouldn't know where to start, but but All You Need Is Love is obvious, and it's not just because there's the you know, the All You Need Is Love, but in between there's such a wisdom in these words. There's nothing you can do that can't be done. There's nothing you can show that can't be shown. There's no one you can save that can't be saved. So it's like, you're not so special, but all you need is love.
Got those shivers again.
We have a question coming in here. Thank you, Helena. We have a question coming in from Stina. I love that. She asked, do you have a small poem that we can share when we link to your book? Would that be okay?
That would be totally okay. There's actually a poem on the back of the book.
Where can we maybe paste it on? We could paste it in the tribe. Could you maybe in the tribe put a few different poems, and then people can choose one? Because it's right. Give people an experience of the poems, because it speaks for itself, right?
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, Tina. That was a good idea. Yeah.
Brilliant.
So, wow. Do you have one final word you want to say, Helena, before we let you off the stage here?
Well, one word is I'm so grateful for the support, and it's wonderful, and it's very, very special to be here with everyone, because we're all writers. And I think I'm going to quote Andrea. She said something on stage a few years ago that went straight to my heart. And she said to all of us, but also to me, write that book now.
You did it!
You did it!
Let's give some hearts to Helena. Some personal heart
to everyone.
Bless you. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, is it just me? My heart is so big it can hardly be in my chest today.
I feel like mine's come out of my body and is just in the room.
Oh, what a joy. Oh, see all the hearts coming to Helena. I love it. Oh, we just love you all. This is such a special tribe. And now we actually will take a little time to have Q&A. And we do it like this. If you have a question for us, something, it can be the smallest thing, you know, but whatever, it could even be a question to Helena, right? She didn't know that, but it just came. So if you have a question, something you wonder about, or something that challenges you right now when it comes to writing, write question in the comment field, and we will at least have time for the first 3, and then we'll see how many we get to. So don't hesitate. And then you can unmute yourself and say the question, or you can just write the whole question in the comment if it feels more comfortable, right? If you're new here and it feels better. So just feel free. And we are here to give you our best advice and share what comes to us. Right?
While we're waiting for any questions, there's one from Liv to Helena. Helena, do you feel the poems coming up for you now are different from those in your native language?
Oh, very. But it's not a question. It's because there's a whole life in between. I was 16 when I left Poland, and it's, oh my God, 50 years ago. And I am in a very different place, thankfully. So very, very, very different. But they will keep changing as we change, right? Yeah.
So lovely answer. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And I think actually that the language thing is something I feel in my sessions we often talk about that. I talk with the writers about that because I think many of us get downloads in mixed languages, and it's actually a bit of a challenge. We get it in our own tongue, and then we get some in English. Many have that, and sometimes it kind of flows easier in English for people. And then you sit and you have a manuscript, half Danish, half English, half Norwegian, half Polish, I don't know, and what to do. And just to share that perspective, because I'm asked this so often, I'll say, don't stop the flow. Allow it to come through in exactly the language it wants to come in the initial phase, in the beginning. Just allow it to come. Doesn't matter. The language is just the clothing. Right? The language is just the clothes, and we can shift the clothes, but the content, the essence, the meaning, the message comes through, and that's what's important. So don't despair if you feel like you are a little bit what is that called, schizophrenic or something. You get it,
schizophrenic.
Well, that's maybe not so kind to it, but you know, you can feel a little like, oh, it's so shattered in a way, but just receive it, allow it to flow. Don't put any labels on it, don't judge it, and you can always change the clothes of the child, right? No problem. So then later in the process you can kind of take a decision and choose and take like a informed decision, you know, but in the beginning just receive it. Do we have any questions here?
We do, yes. Grit is asking any ideas how we can find a title? What should any title include? I'm not sure if that's specific to poetry or whether it's for anything. It's a big topic. Do you have any thoughts about titles?
I do, and I just gotta reveal, because I've been sitting this week reading Grit's whole manuscript, and this gets better and better. I'm like, oh my God, Grit has written this amazing book, but she hasn't landed the title yet. So I understand your question, Grit. But we talked briefly about it, and there's something about when it comes to book titles, it needs to hit the heart. We buy from the heart. So if the title hits the heart, you can always have an undertitle that goes to the brain and it kind of explains, especially if it is a non-fiction book. If it's a fiction book, you don't need any explanation. Or if it's a poetry collection, please no undertitle, just let it be. Speak to the heart, right? And also, I have a secret about titles. We often buy things that we want to identify with, right? So there's some well-known books that came out not so long ago. One is called Untamed by Lennon Doyle, right? Untamed. It's her autobiography. Who don't want to be untamed? We want that book, right? We want to be untamed, and we want to give it to all our friends. And then she also wrote a book, I think the same author, called Love Warrior. Ooh, I'm a love warrior. Of course, I'll have that in my shelf, and I'll also give it to my friends. Or you all know Brené Brown, Rising Strong. Can you feel it? Yes, I'm rising strong. I want that book. So think about that when you write, when you choose a title. Maybe can you put the book into something that we want to identify with, and that speaks to our aspiration, what we aspire to be, and what we aspire to be actually. And of course it's not possible in every book to do that, but we did dance a little bit with a title called Phoenix. Great, but let's see where it lands, and it has to sit comfortably in your heart as well as a writer, of course. So it's always a dance with the title. And how do you? I know Andrea speaks in titles. It's her language. I always take notes when I talk with Andrea. She's speaking in titles all the time.
This comes from my, I totally support everything you've just said. Yes, exactly that. It has to really land. So my experience comes from writing newspaper headlines. So, you know, that was all about the negative art of catching attention. So it was very much words like shock and horror and drama and war and all the ones, but they wake up something in our brains, you know, they wake up the fear response. So if you turn that around and say, well, what's the love response? As you've just said, you know, take it to the other side. What's the love response that you want to evoke in your title? And once you can get yourself into that space, the titles come easily. I often find I'll be doing something really boring and a title will come. You know, it can be washing up or just really boring things, and a title will just come in. I think we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to get the title right, but it's as organic as the whole process of magical writing, right? We kind of need to step out of the way and allow it to come through, and it's only going to come through when our hearts are open. So hope that helps. Go and wash up.
Oh, it's lovely. I love that as well. And this is a big question for all writers, right? And it can be a blog post, it can be a poem, it can be a chapter in a book as well. And when it comes to chapters, there's also something about, especially if it is a little poetic book, fiction, something like that, or a poem for that sake, that it can tease the curiosity and be a little bit mysterious maybe. And if it's a nonfiction, it's different, right? But if it's in that realm, think about the title as the handle on the door that you push open, and then you draw the reader into the room of the chapter or the poem. So it's like, it has to be a little intriguing, a little bit, ooh, what's that? You know? So it helps making the book or the poem collection or whatever irresistible. And I know not all poems need titles. Some go without any titles in the poems, and that's also a choice, right? So then it's just the first line that has that effect of being the door that draws the reader in. Oh, I get so excited. Do we have more questions, Andrea? You must help me.
There are no questions for us, but there is another one for Helena from Susanna, asking, can you remember the first time or moment that you recognized you were beginning to wake up?
Well, I can, but Susanna, may I share that in a different context? Because I want to honor the space as a space for writing. Is that okay? I promise to respond.
Oh, that's lovely. Lovely. Just looking back through, I can't see any more questions. Maybe I've missed some. I'll just scroll through.
Let's see. I hope it was helpful, Grit, what we shared about titles. And just to put a little, what is that? Not a butterfly. What is that called when you make a sløjfe? You know that? Anyone? You tie
a knot, like a bow. A
bow.
Yeah. A ribbon. A ribbon.
A ribbon. Tie the ribbon on titles. there will be a point where you get a full body yes, especially if it is like a book. It's like a big question. It's like the big decision, right? It's maybe not that important if it is a blog post or your daily sharing, right? But if it's like a big decision, wait for the full body yes. You will get shivers. Your whole soul will be like this, and you will just know when it hits you. Isn't that right, Andrea? Have you had those full body yeses?
Oh,
I
yeah.
have it all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot recently. Whenever I speak to you, of course.
Yes.
I think
Beautiful.
maybe we were talking about looking at titles in the summer retreat. I think titles might be a really deep. There's so much. Titles apply to so many things. So we need to take that conversation further sometime.
We will take a title tea party in the summer retreat in the first weekend of June, where it's actually good you bring it up because that's something we need to mention as well. So in 1 month, almost, or maybe less, 3.5 weeks or something, the 5th and 6th of June, dear ones. If you haven't got a ticket, I'll put the link for it here in the comments. And it's the first link is for the summer retreat. We will have a whole weekend on Zoom with you, Andrea and I. Andrea comes to Spain and sits with me here in my living room, or maybe at the pool. Maybe we'll make it a pool party. Let's see. And we will take you deep into your own magical realm. And we will take down pieces of magical writing as we did last time. But this time we will shake it up and do new exercises. So if you were there last time, you know how magical it was and what you actually connected with and what came through to you. So we'll do it again, and we'll love to see as many as possible of you. And if there a time or two you can't attend, you get it all the replays as well the week after. So it will be magical. I look so much forward, Andrea. And we will look at the title tea party as one of the sessions where we actually do a workshop and you find your title. If you have a book or you have something you want, or just to get into the idea of how to do them, different processes we can take you through. Yay.
Lovely. Can't wait. Can't wait.
And also, I also put a link here because I know we have some first timers here who come to the open house. You can follow the second link and go and get into the tribe and be part of our beautiful family here. It's only 15 euros a month. It's a treat, and you get cocktail hour. In 2 weeks, we have cocktail hour in the evening, Thursday in 2 weeks. And we also have the monthly coffee hour, and we have the challenge, and we have this beautiful Facebook group where we can share pieces of our writing, support each other, ask questions, and just, enjoy the sweetness of this beautiful soul family. So come and join us. We'll love to see you again. And we love this. Yes.
What an amazing session. Oh my goodness, we've covered so much.
And we reached it all. I'm amazed.
Yeah.
I feel like giving the word, I feel like we have a few minutes, and I don't know, Björk, is Björk here? Yes. Björk, how are you feeling about playing for us in the ending today? Are you up for that? It's not that you need to, but you are ready to do it. Oh, it's amazing. Oh, then we will let Björk play, and you can just say a few words for those who haven't experienced it before, Björk, what it is you're doing here, because you play the energy, right? Somehow.
Yeah, I play my heart song through today, this flute, Native American flute. Made in Spain actually, but that's another story. I'll just mute myself a little bit because I'm I'm going to turn on a thing and it speaks. So just a second.
Amazing. It's so beautiful. Björk has been playing for us the last few times, and it feels like a meditation. So you can just sit and kind of close your eyes and allow the energy to wrap up in a way. Such a gift you have there. We have so many talented people in this tribe. It feels like a treasure chest.
Yeah, it does. It feels like we should all go on tour when we can.
Oh, could you imagine what we could do if we all gathered and everyone brought their paintings and their instruments and their dancing and the singing? We must make a Magic Writers Festival one day.
Oh, that would be so good. Let's do that. I think
And in person.
yes, raise the roof.
Okay, it didn't work as I had planned, so I'm just going to play.
Wonderful.
And this is from me to all of you. And thank you for today's session. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, got tears in my eyes. Oh.
Is that a good sign?
Oh yes, that's like it's like drinking from a fountain. It's just, yeah.
That's so nice to hear.
Really sweet.
I'm glad it did that to you.
Wow, Björk. This really felt like listening to love songs, as Helena's poems are called. It felt like love songs.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you.
Thank you for asking me to play. Thank you.
And thank you for doing it. I mean, it's such a beautiful, I love that we can co-create like this. We couldn't do this alone. We are all co-creating this space together, and every single heart who has been here today has been co-creating by just sitting with this presence and being so open-hearted and receiving and sharing. And also those who see it in the replay are actually co-creating, because space and time doesn't exist, right? So it's all a dream, right? So something beautiful is happening here. I'm so grateful. Thank you, Andrea, for this dance again and again.
Thank you.
I love it. And thank you, Helena, for sharing your heart with us today. It's been precious. And thank you, everyone. Should we just all unmute and say our goodbyes and see you in 2 weeks in the cocktail hour, right? And if you didn't get the links, write me a note and I'll send it to you if you want to join us, right? Mwah! Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your bliss.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Lots of love.
Love
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you.
To you all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.